Sometimes, life gifts us with moments so fleeting yet so unforgettable, they leave an imprint on our hearts forever. My story begins in the quiet corners of a library, surrounded by the faint scent of old books and whispers of stories waiting to be told. But this isn't just about a library, or even about a boy I met there. It's about discovering something within myself, a feeling so pure and special, it changed me in ways I didn't expect. I was in my 10th standard, a shy, introverted girl who found comfort in her small circle of friends and the predictable routine of school life. One day, my friends dragged me to the library after school. I wasn't particularly excited, but I went along anyway. That day, amidst the quiet hum of the library, I saw him, a boy with warm eyes and a smile that could light up the dimmest corners. He wasn't just any visitor. He was the grandson of the library owner, helping out during his vacation. Something happened in that moment. My face turned red, my heart started racing, and for the first time I felt something different. My friends noticed, of course. They teased me, asked what happened. But how could I explain a feeling I didn't fully understand myself? Without even knowing his name, I had fallen in love with him deeply, innocently, and wholeheartedly. After that day, the library became more than just a place filled with books. It became a part of my routine, a quiet sanctuary where I could catch fleeting glimpses of him. I remember how I would sneak glances at him while pretending to browse the shelves, and how his voice would sound so calm and warm as he helped customers find their books. Sometimes, our eyes would meet briefly, and I would quickly look away, my cheeks flushed. One quiet Sunday, I went to the library alone. There were only a handful of people there, and he was the one managing everything. Just when I thought I'd spend the day hiding behind bookshelves, he approached me. "Excuse me," he said, and my world stopped. Twice, he had to say it before I snapped out of my daze. He asked for my help, to look after the library while he attended to his grandfather, who was unwell. I was hesitant. Me? Manage a library? But his sincerity made it impossible to say no. For 20 minutes, I became the temporary owner of that small world. I helped customers, followed his instructions, and in those fleeting moments, I felt proud. And then I found something, a key with an infinity symbol keychain lying on the floor near a corner, separated from each other. I picked them up, thinking they must belong to him. When he returned, I handed him the key and asked, "Is this yours?" As expected, he said, "Yes," and his face lit up as he said, "Where did you find it?" "I lost it yesterday." I explained how I found it near the corner pillar. He thanked me with that same warm smile. But just as I was about to hand over both the key and the keychain, suddenly my father came to the library and called me. In that moment, everything felt rushed. I quickly gave him only the key, grabbed my books, and hurried to leave. As I turned to glance at him one last time, I noticed his face. It was sad, regretful, as if he wanted to say something but couldn't. Life moved on. Exams came, routines resumed, and it was almost 20 days before I could return to the library. But by then, he was gone back to his hometown. The library felt empty. I cried, regretted not saying more, not staying longer. One day, after my exams, I went back to the library. I held the infinity keychain in my hand, planning to return it to his grandparents. But as I stood there, keychain clutched tightly in my palm, something stopped me. In that moment, I realized this keychain wasn't just an object. It was a memory, a symbol of a brief but special connection. And so, I quietly slipped it back into my pocket and left. Over time, I realized something important. Some people walk into our lives, not to stay, but to teach us something. That boy, in those brief moments, made me feel seen, valued, and alive in a way I had never felt before. Life is full of moments like these, brief encounters that leave lasting imprints. Sometimes, we're so focused on the destination that we forget to cherish the journey. But every smile, every conversation, every tiny connection matters. I still visit the library, not to wait for him, but to check on his grandparents and to cherish a place that gave me one of my most precious memories. And yes, I still have that keychain. It's not just an object, it's a reminder. A reminder of innocence, of courage, of a moment where I stepped out of my comfort zone. So here's what I want to share with you. Don't underestimate the power of small moments. Sometimes, it's not the grand gestures, but the simple ones that change us. Whether it's a smile from a stranger, a brief conversation, or a quiet Sunday in a library, these moments hold magic. Cherish them. Learn from them. And most importantly, allow yourself to feel them fully. Because even if some people are just passing chapters in our story, they still deserve to be written in bold. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. If this story reminded you of a fleeting but meaningful encounter in your own life, I'd love to hear about it. Share your story in the comments below, and let's celebrate these little moments together. And remember, every fleeting moment has a story to tell, if you're willing to listen.